Welcome to Machine Shop Tech Talk, or welcome back to Machine Shop Tech Talk. In manufacturing, it's not if, but when something goes wrong or you have a need that you need to heal. And we have a podcast where we interview world experts to go over everything that they're doing to transform the world of manufacturing. Today, I've got my guest, Gabe Kooyers, or Gabe, and he is a highly skilled machining and CNC educator known for his expertise in precision work, troubleshooting, and CNC operations. After gaining industry experience, he's transitioned to teaching back in 2003, leading in the advanced manufacturing program at Van Buren Tech, specializing in CNC milling. Gabriel integrates industry standard Mastercam software into his curriculum, advancing precision machining education. His leadership and expertise have earned him opportunities to present at the Mastercam Momentum Resellers Conference, as well as at the Titans of CNC headquarters for their CNC expert inspector training, where he shares best practices and fosters professional development. Gabriel led the effort to have the Titans of CNC Expert Academy curriculum recognized as a credential by the state of Michigan's Office of Career and Technical Education. His adoption of the Titans of CNC Academy has transformed his program, setting a new standard for CNC instruction, utilizing all kinds of machine tools. I am so glad to have Gabe here. Gabe, welcome to the podcast, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is great.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to get to talk to someone like yourself that's doing all of the hard work to heal what you see as some of the problems in manufacturing. So let's kick it off with that question. Gabe, what do you see as one of the biggest problems facing manufacturing today?
I tell you right off the bat is the bill of goods that we've been sold for the last 20, 25 years now, saying that everybody needs to go to a 4-year school. And you can really see that shift of now people are like, oh my gosh, we need trades, we need machinists, we need electricians, we need people like that. And that's the biggest thing that I'm trying to convert. Like, machining is a career that will provide for you. It's challenging. It's state of the art. It's not your grandfather's shop anymore. It's not dark and dirty and dank and it's high tech and it's cutting edge.
Yeah, I mean, we can see the shop behind you. That does not look dark, dirty, or dangerous, or dank, or any of the D's. It's a very bright place. So, talking about all of that, so what are some of the things? I mean, I read some in the bio, right? Everything that you're doing on the education side. But what's it like having these students in the ones that you actually get into the program to do all of that? What does that look like?
So we are a countywide tech school. So we have 15 different schools that send students to us for half a day programming. So about 2.5 hours a day, the students come to us and learn machining for me. And in this center, we have over 26 different programs, everywhere from cosmetology to automotive to welding to firefighting, everything.
Yep. I love that your community has that. And I hope other people in other communities, if they're listening and they're like, man, we don't have that in our area, that they start taking some steps to start to found that. So talking about steps, I mean, on the curriculum side, what inspired you originally to partner up with Titans of CNC in their curriculum?
So back in 2016, we stumbled across, or it was 2015, we stumbled across his cable TV show. It wasn't like every other reality TV show at that time. It wasn't, Paul Sr. throwing chairs and everything else. It was just, hey, we're going to see some awesome machining, show what the machines can do, and really rip chips. Ever since I started teaching in 2003 to 2015, it was always manual machines until you graduate up to CNC machines. Well, that built in a lot of fear in the students of like, oh man, those machines over there, those are we got to be really amazing. And, it's going to take forever to get to that level. And in 2016, I saw that. And then 2015, and then at 2016, we actually saw Titan for the first time at IMTS, which every 2 years, or when the show sorry,
It's okay.
in 2016, it was the first time that we saw a Titan, and in person, we try to bring students there every time IMTS is going on. And we bring roughly 80 to 100 students from our CAD program and from my machining program to the
That's
show.
awesome, man.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And that first year, that 2016, he was releasing the Academy, and that's when he was linked up with Fusion. And so we started, I said, I don't know, kids, pick a part. And we just picked a part, and it was like 1 and 10 and 3 and 7. And I tell you what, that was the wrong way to do it. I found out all the wrong ways to do this.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a systematic from 1 to 10 building blocks that strategically and specifically takes you to different levels, right? And so after that first year of just picking apart, the next year we actually flipped the classroom where right off the bat, students draw, program, and set up a part. And then we backfill the manual machining experiences and learning.
So I like that approach because it's making it more, well, approachable, really. It's making it easier for students to engage. How has that affected? Because you're almost 10 years into this journey using the Titans curriculum. So how have you seen any effect on enrollment and the amount of students making it through your program?
Yes, exactly. You know, that first couple years, it was like, man, maybe we can get to Titan 5M, halfway through it. Now, pretty much and I had 25 students finish the year this last year between two different classes. And all of them got up to Titan 8 and Titan 9. 2 of them completely finished all 10 Titan parts in 1 year. And that's along with having 3 to 4 other manual projects also. So, I mean, they're always hammering. Plus, I don't have 10 machines that 10 students can go on all at the same time. So it leaves a path in my class where, the CNCs are open. I've already got something drawn and programmed. I need to go ahead and get that cut while I can. Or, hey, the CNCs are filled up. I did 2 days already of drawing and programming. I'll hop over to the manual machines and do my manual parts. It's always something to do. There is never a time where a student goes, oh, I don't have anything to do. I'm like, oh no, we can work into the future. Worst case scenario, we'll draw and program into the future. You can have them all drawn and programmed, sitting there waiting, and then get out to the shop.
I really like that because it's also teaching your students, and it might be intentional, but you're teaching them how to operate in a manufacturing environment where it's going to be like that. You might have jobs coming down the pipe and there's no machine, so you got to do all the prep to make sure when the machine's available, they can hit the ground running. So, and then they might have to find other creative things they can do, maybe manually, to help move projects along. That's such a smart way to do it. So it's crazy though, because you're like, oh, in the beginning we made it maybe 4 projects in, to now you have students finishing all 10 projects.
Right.
What? So what are some of the change? Like, did it change on the instructional side? Or why do you think that is?
So really is providing all of the, I don't know, like at the beginning of the year, we get logged into Titans of CNC. The students get a login for that. They get a login for CNC Expert. We immediately start drawing and programming because there's a entry exit time at the beginning of the school year where, you can get into the class and say, well, I don't know, I might want to go check something else out. Or if they're over there, hey, wait a minute, I want to see what this program's about. So in that intro time is a perfect way to draw and program, and this is what we're going to do. And then some people take off immediately and they'll have their first, two parts drawn, and they'll get out to the machine. Then the others are like, oh, wow, that's what's happening, and it just builds on itself. The competitiveness, of, oh, Johnny got up there. Well, Jenny wants to get going too, and stuff like that. It's really great.
It's just such a great way to expose them to the potential within the manufacturing sector as well, right?
And one thing that I do to, facilitate that when we're cutting, let's See, a Titan 4M, right?
Yeah.
So Titan 4M, it has a top hat at the top.
Yeah.
Well, in order to facilitate some more manual machine learning, we cut our top hats off on the manual machines. The first 3 or 4 parts we do like that, so
Yeah.
that they're getting exposure to the manual machine. Another thing is I do Titan 1, Titan 2 on the CNC, and then I have them cut a Titan 2M manually, and they realize, oh man, it only took 4.5 minutes to cut this part in the CNC.
Yeah.
And it takes me a week to do, because they're learning, obviously there's steps to go through. But even when they get good and fast, that Titan 2M manual would take them at least 2 days, 4 hours to complete. And they realize, like, oh, there's where the future is.
Yeah. Well, and it helps them have a better thought process as they're landing into actual careers.
Right.
Speaking of actual careers, I don't know if you measure this, but do you measure placement rate for your students, or?
Yeah. Yes, I do. Everybody who wants, sometimes they get into the field and they're like, well, this was fun, but it's not really what I want to do. That's fine.
Yeah.
I see a lot of students that every student that wants to get into the field, we have jobs for them. We have more employers saying, hey, I want students. So really there's more jobs than there's students to go around. I've had some students that go, well, I kind of want to do this other thing. And then they do this other thing and then come back around and go, well, I want to come back to the shop. And I'll see them 10 years later, and they're at a company that I'm working with. I'm like, hey, what year were you?
Yeah.
And that's really cool.
It's awesome that you get to see these people as they graduate and still getting into the careers. So I think that's something that people don't want to miss too, especially if we've got young people watching, maybe more in the clips than the long form usually. Maybe with you on, maybe more of the young people will watch this. Typically they watch my clips and not the full episode, but there's so much opportunity in manufacturing. Yeah. Find a way to get involved, whether it's machining like Gabe and everything that you're doing there in Michigan, or it's like whatever version, manufacturing needs millions of people. Right. Like I went to a school and they were like, oh, the kids are being told there's not a lot of opportunity. The job market sucks. And I'm like, they need to look at manufacturing. Like, and it could be anything. They could be doing admin at a manufacturing shop. It doesn't matter. Look at manufacturing, because we need millions of people. We do not have enough students coming out. So.
And what's that fact of like every one machining or manufacturing job makes 8 other jobs?
Yeah.
I talk to the students about that. And then also, like any company here, we have business, marketing, management, graphic arts, things like that. All those careers are careers that you could end up being at a manufacturing facility, So, for sure.
Well, and even like yourself, get into the industry, get some experience, and then decide you want to teach the next generation and help facilitate the entry of more people, because you really love coaching and mentoring and teaching others. Maybe they take that path, right? Like there's just so much opportunity in the trades.
Yeah.
I love everything that you're doing to help make it more approachable, right? Because it's something a lot of tech schools, if they're listening, a lot of them are still starting with manual, 1 to 2 years of manual. And then if you're good enough, then you can touch the CNCs. But that's not what industry needs right now. Industry needs people that are competent the way that you're training them to be competent when they show up on the shop floor and understand the whole process of what it means to use a CNC machine.
Right. And, our school's for juniors and seniors. And I've got juniors that have only been here 9 months, completing all 10 Titan parts. Their last 2 parts, I don't even, I'll say, hey, did you check this, this, and this? They're like, yeah. I'm like, all right, let her rip. And it does take, to build that trust, right?
Yeah.
That first couple parts, believe me, I am right next to them. I am like double checking every little thing, But as that trust is built and as their confidence grows, and will they maybe have a mess up? Yeah. And that's one thing that, I'm never going to be like, what? And that's one thing I think the industry can use some work on, right? In the fact of students nowadays, it's a TikTok generation. It's 30 seconds and they're, onto something else.
Yeah.
Even so, and not to say that 30 seconds at a shop, they're going to bail, but
No.
what I'm getting at is it is not, this generation doesn't look at a machining job as, oh my gosh, I've got this position, I'm going to be here 30 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So where you do need to, and students do need in this generation needs to feel invested, that they're making a difference, that they're doing something that is worthwhile and brought along. My apprenticeship is much different. And I would, back in the day, you take a lot of guff and hammering from, shop guys.
Yeah.
Not to say that these students can't do some of that, but I've had a student that at the end of the junior year, they're ready, they're willing, they're ready to go into this field. At the end of 2.5 months after summer, they come back and go, I don't really want to. And why is that? Is all the people there are like, you don't want to get into this, blah, blah, blah. Although they have a nice house, they got a snowmobile, they've got four-wheelers, and then those people will turn around and be like, well, these kids don't want to work. It's like, they don't want to work for a crappy place, right?
Yeah.
That is like beating them down, but come alongside them, lift them up, be like, hey, and that's what I really try to instill, so that the students are like, hey, this is something I could do. I can do this. Let's get after it, and yeah, so.
Yeah. Well, and you're imparting the knowledge they need on the technical side, but also on the career side of, look, there's going to be bad places to work, like any career, any job path you take. You might, like, even something as basic as McDonald's. You might go to one McDonald's location and the crew trainers are amazing, and you decide to spend 5 years learning their systems, blah, blah, blah. But you might go to another location and they're absolutely just a-holes and you don't want to be there and you leave.
Right.
It's not a reflection of McDonald's. It's a reflection of the people that are there working.
Right.
And that's something I think any young people listening now, or other people in shops, make it an enjoyable experience and give more of that feedback and show more of a path of, hey, you're going to start running the machines today. The next step would be learning how to program them, or whatever the next step is in that company, whatever that looks like. Just show them there's ways to graduate and continue to improve and hit those like bite-sized mile markers to continue to advance.
Right.
That is so important. So as we're looking to wrap up, Gabe, I want to know if you've got any like requests of the people listening. Now, this could be geared towards young people. This could be geared towards the shops out there. I know we've already kind of given them a hard time.
Well, yeah. And I hopefully that wasn't too,
No, it's a wake-up call the industry needs. We can't complain we don't have people, or that people don't want to work, but then also have workplaces that no human wants to work in.
Right.
You can't have both. Choose.
Right. There you go.
So what would you say if, let's gear towards the young people if you want, if that works. If you've got a young person out there, whether they're in high school, junior, seniors, or maybe they're just starting to work and they're going into places and they hate their jobs and they're looking for a change, what would you say to these young people?
So young people out there, if you're looking at manufacturing, machining, anything like that, understand that there is a career for you, and a lucrative career that doesn't take a college formal 4-year degree. You can make a living on it. You can support a family, have a nice life. And really and something that I have up on my wall is the 5 pillars of employment. Show up every day, work the full time you're there, have a willingness to learn, have a good attitude, and pass a drug screen. That'll take you anywhere from fast food to aerospace. But without those things, you might get a job, but you won't keep a job. Those 5 things are things that only you can control, right? And to say, man, maybe you grew up in a hard background and a hard life and home's a wreck and everything else, but those 5 things you can dictate in your own life and have a goal. And like Titan always says, rise to greatness, right?
Yeah.
And Titans of CNC has just revolutionized my class. It's really inspired the students. I mean, Titan's story is awesome.
Yeah.
And I share all that with them. They see what's capable and what's possible. And if you're wondering about it, maybe I want to get into this or not, you can actually start learning how to draw and program at home from Titans of CNC. You can learn how to draw and program at home. And then, man, maybe that is something I want to get into. And companies, if you have those 5 things, those 5 pillars of employment, they will teach you what you need to know. You know what I mean? Those are the hardest 5 things that employers are saying, hey, these are what's really hard to get. I can get somebody that, knows technical stuff, but those 5 pillars of employment are what's hard to just teach people. So if you got those, you're golden.
Yeah, it's a great message. And we'll put links to anything down below, whether it's the Titans Academy, because it's such a beautiful online resource. I mean, obviously there's integration with Mastercam, and Fusion is still there, I believe, as well.
Yep.
And they're always working to release more training. They've got the whole Swiss school. They've got a lot of different free training out there. So I'll make sure there's links down below the video that you can all check out. Gabe, thank you so much for donating some of your time. I mean, it's summer break, and here you are on a podcast. So thank you.
Thank you very much, man.
Yeah. And look, if you've made it this far in the episode, you like what you're listening to, don't forget to click like. It helps out the channel a ton. I would be so grateful for your support. And to all of my machining friends, keep your spindle turning and earning.